So the other day I came across a video on how to stop worrying about being judged by psychologist Julia Christina. I found the topic of the video to be quite interesting, so I'd like to share with you some of the points. So firstly, judgment. So why is judgment a problem? Basically, it will hold us back because it causes us to have fear of what others think and perceive of us, and this is the reason why we don't take as much risks or don't do things that we would actually really like to do to be able to achieve our dreams. And this is it's because of the fears of the perceptions and assumptions people make about us. So in many cases, scientists have proved that it's not about us when people judge us. It's about their own repressed insecurities that they try to keep hidden, and the parts of themselves that they would like to reject. So this is what some people call the shadow self, because it's the part of someone that they want to keep hidden from others. So it usually comes out in subconscious ways through judgment and how you see other people. So basically, someone's judgment of you is actually nothing to do with you yourself, and it's actually them projecting themselves and their own insecurities onto you. But this is just many cases, and not necessarily all the time. So and it's usually just about them. So an example of this is I have this classmate called Sally, and she has a really deep fear of being seen as stupid or dumb. So she puts a lot of work into making sure that she gets straight A's and gets the best grades that she can get, and this causes her to put a lot of focus onto it. And many other times she might in class discussions and stuff, she'll judge people that they're dumber or not as smart as she is. So this is her projecting her own fear of being seen as stupid onto her judgment of others, especially when we're in class discussions and group talks. So secondly is what you fear. So the judgment we have that we are scared of from others has nothing to do with them, and only the things that you're struggling with internally. So basically, the things that you worry or stress about are the things that you think other people will judge you on, and they're opinion that you don't really want. But however, there's some other parts of you that it doesn't even occur to you that it could be judged on, because you're not struggling with those parts of yourself. And the part of you that feel good and confident in, then it doesn't even you don't even think that people could judge you on it. So for example, with going back to Sally, she's really confident in her piano skills, which means that she's not as anxious about not being good on the piano or anything. So she doesn't put loads of focus on that. So which means that she doesn't really judge people according to that. Instead, she focuses all of her attention on her academics and her grades, and that's where she just judges most people, because she focuses on what everyone gets and uses the narrow lens to just see it from there. And so the only judgments we really fear are the things that we're struggling with already, and we're scared that other people might pick up on that and judge us for it. So thirdly, what is judgment? So it's basically the fear of someone else's judgment of themselves, because of what we make it mean about the judgment that we have of ourselves, which is a bit confusing. But going back to Sally, is basically she's afraid of other people seeing her as dumb, because she has that fear of herself being seen as dumb. And also in the other way around, if she's judged, she's scared of other people being seeing her as dumb. And it basically has nothing to do with anyone else or their own abilities, but it's mostly just to do with you and what you're afraid of others judging you on. So it's just us on both sides, because yeah, we're scared of someone else's judgment on like the things that we're insecure about. So fourth is how to fix it. So basically we can fix it by working on the relationships, on our relationship with ourselves, and like dealing with our own insecurities, so that the things that we worry on being judged about, is like no longer issues for us. So basically this means that we won't feel fear, and it can clean up our thoughts. And it's not about being perfect, because some people might think that if I'm perfect, then nobody will ever like judge me and I'll be free of this problem. But that's not actually the case, because if we try to be like perfectionists and perfect all the time, then we're constantly worrying about what other people think. So like, and what they like, and trying to like fit ourselves into their mold. So we want other people to like feel a certain way, so that we feel okay with ourselves, and that's like not very good, because it means that we place all of our self-worth in the hands of others. So the way to fix this is just to love and accept yourself, and also to know that everyone like should have room to grow as like a person. So in conclusion, like for me, like out in my own personal experience, there's like a secret like method like I like to share with you that worked pretty well for me, about like how to stop worrying about being judged. So I think having like an internal judgment system is really important. So every day think about whether or not you improve like by like 1%, and then you won't need like external validation from other people, and their like other people's opinions. You won't like, it won't matter to you as much, because you can already like prove to yourself like internally that like you're improving and that you're growing. And it's also like some people, like some of your friends, they might not be next to you for your whole entire life. Some people might only know you for 1 year, but some people might know you for 10 years. But even like parents as well, and they've known like their children their whole lives, but they can also like make wrong judgments about their children as well. So yeah, I think just having an internal judgment system really helps, because only you can see like the full picture and what your goals are and where you're headed, and yeah, only you can like fully understand yourself. So I hope you learned something. That's all for today. Bye bye.